I'm going to show you how to make a 30 bottle wine kit now, using the starter kit that we showed you before. And in this case we're using a California connoisseur kit. We have a Merlot and we also have a Chardonnay Semillon, and that's the one we're going to make today. But if you use any of our 30 bottle kits, you should see that the process is pretty much the same. What you get inside is a bag of very, very good quality grape juice, and that's where the quality and the taste and the aroma comes from in the wine that you're going to make. So by having a good quality product, that's going to give you a better bottle of wine. With that, you're also given some wine labels for your bottles. You're given the additives that are needed to produce the wine, the yeast, the clearing agents, and in the case of this kit, you're also given some oak chips. You imagine that commercial wine can be stored in oak barrels to give it that taste and aroma. We haven't got the advantage of being able to do that in home winemaking, so by using the oak chips we can substitute that and give it an authentic taste and an aroma. And you're also given an instruction booklet as well. Okay, so the things we'll need for the initial process to get things starting to ferment. We're going to need our bag of grape juice. I've left it in the box here and just brought the edge over because it's quite a heavy thing. When you're pouring that in, it's easier when it's in the box to manage rather than trying to keep hold of a bag of juice. Well, you're going to need your fermentation vessel. We've got the bung in there, we've got the airlock in, but we'll take those out to sterilise shortly. You need a thermometer to check your temperature's right for pitching your yeast. You need a spoon to be able to obviously stir the contents. And for this kit, we need the bentonite, we need yeast, and we also need our oak chippings. We've got our steriliser and cleaner, so before we start we need to go on to sterilise everything. Okay, so we're going to start by sterilising all of our equipment. We're going to use the fermentation vessel as the thing to put all of this into, and that'll hold our sterilising solution. Use the steriliser. The ingredients, the instructions here say to use 2 to 3 teaspoons for 10 litres of water. So we put 3 in there, and we fill that up now with hot water up to the 10 litre mark. And as that's filling up, we can give that a stir, make sure all of the powder gets dissolved properly, and we're going to put the rest of our equipment in. So I took the grommet out of the top of the vessel. I've taken the airlock apart just to put that in, and just make sure that they get filled with water and sink underneath. We also have the thermometer that we're going to use, and depending on whether you want to take an initial gravity reading, you'd also put your hydrometer and your test jar. We're not going to do that today, but if you wanted to take a measurement, you can do. So we'll just fill that up now, and we're there at the 10 litre mark. Turn the tap off. And what we need to do is make sure that everything in here gets a good coating. This will give slightly, so you can tip that down, take it out, tip it again. And basically what we want to do now is put the lid on securely. And bear in mind that there is a hole still in this, but if we shake this backwards and forwards, everything will get covered. If you gently release your finger, you won't get any gas away back there. As you can see now, the whole vessel has been coated with steriliser inside. I'm just going to use a little bit with my fingers to rub around the outside to make sure that everything is clean and sterilised before we start. Essentially, with sterilisation, people can get quite concerned about it. It's an easy process. It's like anything with food production. If you wanted to cook a meal, you'd make sure your work surfaces were clean and the implements that you're using will be clean. It's no different with wine production. The only difference is we need to make sure that anything that will come into contact with the fermentation, that we've killed all bacteria off. The yeast is the thing that obviously turns the sugar and the grape juice into alcohol, and that doesn't want to have to battle with any other bacteria. The other thing that sometimes bacteria can do is introduce off smells or flavours into the wine, and you can actually end up with a fermentation that never starts, or one that's simply spoiled at the end of the day. You're essentially creating vinegar rather than wine. So we've got this in here now, we've got all of our equipment in there, we've given that a good shake around. We need to leave that for 10 minutes, and during that process we need to shake it again. So we'll leave this for 5 minutes now, and then we'll give that a shake. Okay, so we've left this for 5 minutes now, and what I'm going to do is just take the lid off, and I'm going to take the items that may break out of there. So we've got a thermometer, and the other parts are okay, we've just got some plastic items in there. But we pop the lid back on, And just make sure we've got a good seal there, and again remembering to keep our finger over the hole. We just need to get a good wash of the solution over the barrel, and it only needs to be like that. And again, let's just put a little bit around the outside to make sure we're covered, make sure the top is completely sterilised, and pop our equipment back into there. And again, we just need to leave that for another 5 minutes now. Okay, so this has now been sat for another 5 minutes, so a total of 10. What we're going to do is take the lid off and rinse that first. So what we want to do is make sure there's no sterilising solution left anywhere on it. We can now use this to pop the rest of our equipment onto that comes out of here. So take our spoon first, give that a good rinse. And our thermometer. And we can now tip the rest of the solution away. You can keep this if you wish in another jar, but we make sure that with each kit you're given a level of steriliser, so there's no real reason to do that. And just as we get near the bottom, we need to pull out the other little parts that we've left in there. You give those a good rinse. Leave those. And then the final thing is just to rinse the edge of the bucket. And if you turn it around, if you just get the edge of the tap on the side and turn it that way, you're sure that everything is completely rinsed and clean. And we're now actually ready to put the ingredients together, then we can start the fermentation.